Okay, this is just a brief demo of where we are so far with EDS. This is going to be our new tool for obtaining plant computer data on the land. I'm remotely right now. I'm using my home computer, and I'm using a remote desktop using Citrix. So I'm going to show 3 different ways you can get plant data with this new tool. So the first way is this terminal program. I'm going to open it up. So EDS, unlike Pi, we have 2 redundant servers. Actually, it's server A and B. B's listed as the default, but they're both identical. Both of them have identical data, but the benefit of having 2 servers, if one of them's down, you can go to the other one. And both of these have data from both units. So I'm just going to pick the default, which actually is EDS server B. I double click on it. Right now we just have a generic admin account with no password. Log in, initializes. And when it first comes up, really the only thing is just this one toolbar. And there's several options. You can do trends, listing of points. You can pop up graphic windows. Westinghouse, they were kind enough where they've got these shortcut keys to Unit 1, Unit 2. So I'll just pick on Unit 1. Click on Unit 1, it pops up the custom graphics menu for Unit 1. You can just pull up any graphic you want. Like this is one down here called Stampede that I made for emergency response some time ago. And that is the Stampede screen for Unit 1. Trends, I mean, there's different kind of trends. I'll just give you an example of like a live trend. Like this is, let's see, primary Met Tower. Let's see, wind speed. I can right click on this, go to trends. I'll just pull up like this is a live trend. I won't go to historical trends right now. It's live trend 1 hour. Pulls up this trend and you can see it's just kind of a flat line. Doesn't show it bouncing around. If you want to change it, this button, edit the wire range, if you just click on that, it kind of gives it, more of what you normally see on a trend. Similar to ICS, you just left click and just move it around and you can see what that value is. Let's see. Now one thing that's kind of cool about this, even though this is a live trend, you can click on this arrow and step back. You can go back in time. And that was a 1 hour live trend. You can go back and say 1 hour previous and it's blank. But then you click on this button, download data. Let's see, where is it? It should populate past data for that. Okay, it just, I guess it was where the wind direction, it was the top. I couldn't see it until I clicked on that button to fit the wire range. Still getting used to this a little bit. So same thing, I could just step back even further, nothing. Let's see, download data. Can't really see much until you fit the wire range and there it is. So that's just kind of an example of the trend tool. You can save this to your LAN desktop when you see this. The way you do that is, let's see, I've only done it once. I believe it's this list of samples. So when you click on this list of samples, this just has the date, time, and the value, and you can save it. And it's CSV file format, but it does go to Excel pretty nicely. And you go to save, and then of course it wants to know where you want to save in your hard drive. I'm not going to save this, but I've done that before. And then you can open up the file in Excel. Cancel out of this. Let's see. You can save custom trend groups if you actually just go directly to the trend icon. You can see where I've saved some groups. Like this is one trend group that I did for reaction engineering where they email me. They have this STA trend, reaction engineering STA trend. Right click and execute. And these are different numbers that reaction engineering trends to do their job. But they gave me a list of these points: U1169, U0484. Same as the other trend. You can left click on this. So you can see the values change as you scroll around. You could save this to disk. You could step back in time, forward in time. I just did this just as a sample for them, but I'm going to work through that to get more custom. One thing that's kind of cool about this, again, you can do both units. Now, if you remember when I first logged in, I just clicked on the Unit 1 button. You could also click on Unit 2, and you can pull up, the Unit 2 custom graphics menu. This button on the menu for diagrams, kind of similar to ICS, you can have 4 diagrams on one screen. You select W1. Like right now, that main diagram, it's W1, but you can pick W2, W3, W4, like on an ICS workstation if you're familiar with ICS, and then pick the unit and just display 4 diagrams. You could have 2 Unit 1, 2 Unit 2. The other thing that's cool about this is you can save your workspace. This button up here on the menu called Workspace, well, if you have certain screens that you like to look at all the time, you can save it. So when I click on that button, it popped up this menu over here, and see, I've just saved this workspace that I commonly use as ICS status mic. If I go to this and double click, this pops up Unit 1 ICS System Health, Unit 1 ICS Network, Unit 2 ICS Health, Unit 2 ICS Network, and kind of hidden behind it, I could just click on the mouse or just click on the trend. I've got like a trend of view 1118. That kind of gives me an indication on the system, because that's a calculated point that comes out of the comp server that has over 100 inputs. So, and then of course, I'm always going to get a call if there's some unknown problem with reactor thermal power. So it's something that I watch. So anyway, that's just kind of a brief overview of the EDS terminal. There's other tools up here that I haven't gotten into yet. Like one thing, it's let's see, there's like a report tool. Yeah, the report monitor, report editor. I haven't gotten into that yet. One other thing I'll show you, if you want to build trends on this point list, when you click on that, it pops up a list of the points. Unlike Pi, this is a direct feed from the plant ICS. This has every point in ICS, the full database. So, I think Pi has like maybe 10% of the points that are in ICS. This has 100% of the points in ICS. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and close this terminal. Exit, are you sure? And it just kind of wipes it out. Another way to get EDS data on your LAN computer is using Excel. So I already have Excel open, and there's an EDS plugin. You can kind of see it on my menu right there where it says EDS. And I've got, if I click on, if you have, I'm sure reactor engineering is going to want to do this, probably chemistry too. When you click on the EDS plugin, you can connect to the server. Click on the button, and I already have a server set up. I mean, that's a configuration. Anybody that wants to use this tool, I can show you to do. I just double click on this. I don't have a password on the server. And it connects. I didn't really mention this in the other one, but you see those 2 green lights. The 2 green lights means that it's working and you're getting a feed from Unit 1 and a feed from Unit 2. At this point, this Excel spreadsheet can download all points from Unit 1, all points from Unit 2 into this spreadsheet. Different ways you can do that. See this button here where it says Insert, Edit, Tabular Trend. This is a way you can get tabular trend data. Then of course you have to pull points into it. Let me close this out. It says Show Point List. I mean, it's not really easy to set this up, but this isn't for like the casual ICS EDS user. This is probably more for people if you've got spreadsheets you run a lot, reports you run a lot. It's probably a good tool for that. I pre-built one that I'll just kind of pull up. I call it Reactor Engineering Test. This is that other trend that Reactor Engineering gave me, I think, are part of it. So this just already has points, dates, times, and these computer points that they trend. And once you have this built, and again, if you select EDS up here on the toolbar, you can actually change it. So like where it says Insert, Edit, Tabular Trend, I already have a tabular trend. So if you just want to change the date, like this is just 1 hour and I've got date time, you can go in, you can change that. Like right now that says December 13. I'll change it to December 14 and just say okay. And magically the dates and times change to December 14, all the values kind of change. So, of course, once you have this in Excel, you can do all kind of cool things, graphs, charts. One other way, and this might be a common way people will use this, similar to Wave, you could just open up Internet Explorer. And I'm not sure, I'm kind of trying to figure out how to do this with, like probably with IT or something, but you can just go directly to the a website, which is actually the IP address of these EDS servers. So I'll just pick one of them. And this is, I think this is actually EDS server A. You can go to diagrams, and of course this is just the main unit 1, unit 2 diagram. Kind of click on that. This is kind of more what people are probably used to using for Wave. Pulls up the menu. You can pull up a screen. And you just kind of click on these. This is just like Met Tower. I mean, this is probably going to be more of a good way for people, maybe like the one-stop shop during outages, maybe when we're getting ready to go to mid-loop or something. I don't know, I'm not an operator, but if somebody in the one-stop shop wants to just look at qual PAMs. Similarly to the other, you can right-click on these values and you can trend, and just do like a 10-minute trend of this pressurizer level, and you can see the number. I haven't really played with the web browser tool very much. Similar to the other ones, you can kind of scale the points in different ways. But anyway, for me and what I do, my job, most of the time, I'm probably going to be using the actual terminal application. But anyway, that's just kind of a preview. We're still working through some things, working on testing. Hopefully, we will be able to start giving this to people all across the station who want to use this in 2021.